I tried to be a chill boyfriend about my girlfriend's male best friend, but she wants to throw away our anniversary plans to go to a concert with him, and I'm sick of being the third wheel in my own relationship. Posted by you/OKBandicoot2349. I, 28M, have been dating my girlfriend, Sarah, 26F, for just over a year now, and while I love her, there's one thing that's been eating at me since the very beginning: her relationship with her male best friend, Jake, 27M. Jake has been Sarah's ride or die since college, and I knew from the start that they were close. But what I didn't realize was how much it would impact our relationship. I've always tried to be the chill, trusting boyfriend. I don't want to be that guy who's threatened by a platonic friendship. But honestly, it's gotten to the point where I feel like I'm the third wheel in my own relationship. Jake and Sarah are practically inseparable. They hang out multiple times a week, they do dinners, movie nights, spontaneous late-night drives, etc., and I'm usually not even invited. If I try to join, it's awkward, like I'm crashing their private world of inside jokes that I'm not a part of. It stings, but I tried to let it go for the sake of keeping the peace. But then things started to cross a line. Jake texts her constantly, even when we're together on dates. It's not just casual stuff, either. He calls her babe and sweetheart, and when I brought this up to Sarah, she laughed and said it was just their thing and that it didn't mean anything. Apparently, they've been calling each other that for years. But to me, it feels like there's more to it. Who calls their best friend babe when they're in a relationship? Then there was the night I stayed over at her place and woke up at 2 a.m. to find Sarah on FaceTime with Jake. She was giggling like a schoolgirl, whispering so she wouldn't wake me. When I asked her about it the next morning, she brushed it off, saying Jake needed someone to talk to. But what about me? Am I just here as background noise while she stays emotionally tethered to this guy? The breaking point came last weekend. Sarah and I had been planning a special weekend getaway for our 1-year anniversary, something we'd been looking forward to for months. But out of nowhere, Jake invites her to a concert the same weekend. Sarah asked me if we could postpone our anniversary trip so she could go with Jake instead because it's a band they both absolutely love. I was floored. Our anniversary, something we'd been planning for months, could just be rescheduled for Jake? It was like I didn't even matter. I told her that this was too much and asked her to set some clear boundaries with Jake, like no more pet names, no more hanging out one-on-one all the time, and definitely no more prioritizing him over our relationship. She blew up at me, calling me controlling and insecure. She even said, "You knew Jake was part of my life when we started dating. Why are you trying to change me now?" Things got worse when Jake apparently told her that I was being toxic and trying to manipulate her. Sarah is siding with him, saying I'm overreacting and that nothing has ever happened between them. She's now furious with me for giving her an ultimatum, when all I really asked for were some boundaries that would make me feel like I'm her boyfriend, not just a side character in her life with Jake. Now Sarah is giving me the silent treatment, and I'm starting to feel like I've somehow become the jerk in my own relationship. Am I losing my mind here? I'm not asking her to drop Jake completely, just to prioritize us and respect our relationship. But maybe I've been unreasonable. Am I the jerk for asking my girlfriend to set boundaries with her male best friend, or is this friendship way too close for comfort? /relevant comments. Commenter. Do everyone a favor and end this thing now. You'll be doing Sarah a favor, she can have Jake. You'll be doing Jake a favor, he can have Sarah. Most of all though, you'll be doing yourself a huge favor, because you can find someone who sees you as her ride or die and someone who is actually loyal to you. After all, loyalty is the single most important factor in friendship, not being nice or liking the same things. Sarah doesn't believe she needs to be loyal to you. You know how I know? We can only truly know what we believe, versus what we think we believe, by watching how we act. Her actions speak volumes. Update 2 days later. I first want to thank you all for the amazing support you've given me. After reading through the comments and talking to some of you, I made up my mind. I was done being second place in my own relationship, and I was ready to walk away. But what happened next surprised me. Saturday night, Sarah came over to talk. I was prepared to have the breakup conversation, but before I could get a word in, she told me something unexpected. She had canceled the concert plans with Jake. She said that after our last conversation, she realized how serious I was, and it made her think about everything. She told me she had been selfish, that she had taken our relationship for granted. She said she'd told Jake she couldn't go to the concert and instead wanted to spend the weekend with me. No distractions, no third wheels, just us. I was honestly shocked. Part of me didn't believe it. For months, I had been asking her to set boundaries with Jake, and suddenly, she was doing it? It felt surreal, like a last-minute effort to save something that was already broken. But she seemed sincere. She apologized, not just for the concert situation, but for all the time she had ignored my feelings, dismissed my concerns, and prioritized Jake over us. She admitted she had been blind to how much it hurt me and said she didn't want to lose me. It was emotional. She was crying, and I could see how much it scared her that I was about to walk away. For the first time in a long time, it felt like she was choosing me. But here's the thing, as much as I appreciated her apology, it didn't magically fix everything. I told her that while canceling the concert was a good step, it didn't erase all the hurt. I still felt like I had been competing with Jake for too long, and trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild. We ended up spending the weekend together as planned. We didn't go on the big anniversary trip, but we stayed in, cooked together, and had long conversations about everything: our relationship, Jake, the future. It was a roller coaster of emotions. There were moments where I felt like maybe we could make this work, but also moments where the damage felt too deep to repair. By today, I was emotionally drained. Sarah seemed to think things were heading in the right direction, but I still wasn't sure. I needed space to think. So, I told her we should take a break, give each other some time to reflect and see if this relationship was something we both wanted to fight for. She didn't take it well. She cried again, begged me not to go, said she'd prove to me that she was serious about changing. But I needed to be alone, to clear my head without all the emotional ups and downs. So I left. I haven't spoken to her since. We agreed to give it a couple of weeks before we decide anything, but to be honest, I'm still leaning toward ending things for good. Could she really have set boundaries with Jake after everything? I find it hard to believe. After months of me begging, I feel like I've already checked out of the relationship, and while her efforts are appreciated, I can't shake the feeling that it's too little too late. I'll always care about Sarah, but this whole situation has made me realize how important it is to be with someone who values and respects you from the beginning. Someone who doesn't make you feel like you have to compete for their attention. Should I give her another chance, or should I go through with the breakup? /relevant comments. Commenter. Sounds like she found your Reddit to me. Second update 8 months later. Hey Reddit. It's been about 8 months since my last update. Honestly, I didn't plan on ever coming back to this. After everything happened, I kind of just wanted to forget about it. Plus, Sarah eventually found the post, so I stayed quiet. But at this point, I don't care who I piss off. I think I owe you guys the end of the story, plus a lot of you have been asking for an update, so here it is. So, after my last post, we decided to go on a break. We had no contact for 2 weeks, and those 2 weeks messed with my head more than I expected. I didn't know what she was doing, who she was talking to, or where things stood. Eventually, I reached out and told her I wanted to break up. I thought I was ready. She broke down, cried, and begged. Told me she'd cut Jake off for good. Said she'd block him, delete him, whatever it took. She told me she couldn't imagine her life without me and just wanted one more chance. And like an idiot, I gave it to her. Because I still loved her. This was the second person in my life I could say I truly loved. I didn't want to start over with someone new when I'd known her for so long. She wasn't just my partner, she was my best friend. I didn't want to lose what we had. At first, things were okay. She was more present, we spent more time together, and she tried harder. But I wasn't the same. I had this weird feeling in my gut that I couldn't trust her, even if I pretended to. I just couldn't forget everything that happened. And I won't sit here and act like I was perfect either. When she was trying her hardest, I wasn't putting in the same effort. That hurt her. This went on for about 3 months. It started getting better, little by little. I thought we were making progress. I still wasn't all the way in, but I could finally say I saw a future with her. But the thing that really bothered me? Jake. She did stay true to her word and unfollowed him when we first got back together. This was almost 4 months ago. But one day while I was at work, I was scrolling on IG and saw that they had followed each other again. I asked her about it, and she said it didn't mean anything, that they weren't talking. I let it go. Maybe I didn't want to know the truth. Fast forward a few weeks. We were at my place, and she had fallen asleep first. That's when I saw an Instagram notification. I couldn't open it, didn't know her password, and I wasn't about to try and scan her face while she slept. So I ignored it. I couldn't sleep. I was restless. But I told myself I was overthinking, and I wanted to trust her. Fast forward another week. We went on vacation and were staying at a hotel. She asked me to grab something from the car, but the hotel room key was on her phone. So she handed it to me. That's when my insecurities got the best of me, and I snooped while walking to the car. That's when I saw it, DMs from Jake. And honestly, I felt nauseous. Not just old ones. Recent. Some unanswered, but some she did reply to. Messages about how she couldn't stand being apart from him. How it killed her to block him. How she missed talking to him. How she wanted to see him again. And then the part that really broke me, how she had developed feelings for him but was scared to leave me because then it wouldn't be Jake and Op. It would just be Jake. She talked about how she didn't want to lose both of us. She had even seen him behind my back. When she said she was going to the gym, she was going to his place. I came back to the room and didn't say anything. I laid in bed, numb. She eventually got up to take a shower, and while she was in there, she texted me asking if I went through her phone. At first, I lied. But then she said when she opened Instagram, it was still on her DMs with Jake, something she didn't leave open. So I admitted it. I told her I read everything and couldn't believe she lied to me again. Her response was, "You weren't supposed to see that." I completely lost it. She tried playing the victim card, telling me I broke her trust by going through her phone and that I wasn't supposed to read what she told Jake. Like I was the bad guy in this situation. That was it for me. I didn't ask for explanations. I didn't want to hear any more lies. I shut down completely. I stopped texting her and only spoke when necessary for the rest of the trip. We had driven 6 hours from our hometown to visit some friends, so I couldn't just leave. We acted normal in front of our friends until it was time to go. The 6-hour drive back home was complete silence. I drove most of the way and didn't speak to her at all. When I dropped her off at her place, she tried to talk to me, even tried to kiss me goodbye. I pushed her away and asked her to get out of the car. Later that night, I texted her that I was done. I didn't want to talk anymore. She tried to explain, but at that point, there was nothing left to say. I gave her so many chances and she still chose to lie. Again, I don't know if anything sexual happened between them, and at this point, I don't care anymore. What I do know is I spent too long being second in a relationship where I should have been enough. So yeah, I'm single now. It hurts, obviously. But for the first time in a long time, I feel like I can finally breathe again. Thanks to everyone who gave it to me straight in the comments all those months ago, but also to those who told me to give her another chance. It hurt, but I grew and matured from this. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. You dodged a bullet. Someone who lies that repeatedly and then tries to gaslight you for catching them, you weren't supposed to see that, was never going to change. You wasted way too much energy on someone who was never fully yours to begin with. Ops response. That's exactly what I keep telling myself. I wasted so much time and energy. I'm just glad I ended it sooner rather than later.